This is the Instream, and it's the first dedicated device for doing vertical multi-camera live streams on Instagram and TikTok. Hi, I'm Aaron Parecki. Before we dive in, I need to first mention that Yololiv sent me this pre-production model, and I've had a few weeks to try it out and do some live streams on my Instagram account. But they don't get any input into what I say in this video, and they don't get to watch this video before I post it. So with that out of the way, let's carry on. First of all, what is the Instream encoder? According to their website, this is an all-in-one multi-camera vertical live streaming studio. This lets you do live streams on Instagram and TikTok where you can switch between multiple cameras and even add graphics and other effects. Let's talk about this for a second because this is really significant. Instagram only lets you live stream from the Instagram app itself. They don't provide a way to let you live stream from software like OBS or hardware like an ATEM Mini. I know you're probably thinking, but I've seen third-party apps for live streaming to Instagram. Yes, there are some solutions out there that will give you a way to find the RTMP URL for your Instagram account. I'm not going to name them because I don't want to encourage you to use them. It's against Instagram's terms of service to use tools like that. And that means you run the risk of getting your entire Instagram account shut down. Let me just say that again. You run the risk of Instagram shutting down your entire account, not just the live stream. And if you get your account shut down, there is basically nothing you can do to get it back. So that is why I would definitely not encourage you to use those third-party tools for streaming to Instagram. So what does the Instream do that avoids this issue? Well, basically it's an Android device that runs the Instagram app directly. So as far as Instagram is concerned, there is one camera built into the device. It's just that this camera happens to be a kind of virtual camera that lets you combine multiple cameras into the one that Instagram sees. The device also ships with the TikTok app installed, and they are planning on adding more apps in future software updates. So let's take a look at what it takes to get this all up and running, starting with all the ports on the device. First of all, on the right side of the device, we've got two HDMI input ports. That's for your two HDMI cameras. A USB port for connecting webcams over USB. This is a 1/4-inch tripod mount. This one is the Ethernet jack to plug in a wired internet connection, which is a lot more reliable than wireless, but it does have Wi-Fi and even a SIM card built in. This is an HDMI out, which you can use to feed another monitor if you want to see yourself larger. This is for the USB-C power adapter. On the left side, we've got a few other ports. Power button is down here. This is a slot for a SIM card, so you can provide it a cell connection. This is for an SD card, which is where you'll load your graphics, and it can also record to the SD card if you want. Another 1/4-inch tripod mount. This is the line and mic in for your audio, so you can connect external audio interfaces or a microphone. And this is a headphone jack, so you can hear yourself. You're probably going to want to use the device tilted up instead of laying flat. So I am working on a stand to hold this and hold it at the right angle. It is coming soon. It's not out yet, but I'll be sure to link it below once it's available. For now, I guess I'll just lay this flat on the desk here so we can connect things to it. So to get things going, you're going to first need to connect at least one camera. You can use a nice camera with a good lens, rotate it on your tripod, and you'll already get a much better quality picture than your phone's built-in camera. You can connect two HDMI cameras and also a USB camera. The only trick here is you do have to physically rotate your cameras to be vertical, so make sure you use a tripod with a ball head that can go into vertical mode. Personally, I don't think there's much of a reason to use this with USB cameras, since the quality of the DSLR or mirrorless cameras is just so much better than any USB webcam right now. And most USB webcams aren't even any better than your phone anyway. So now we've got two HDMI cameras connected, and next we need to handle audio. This is another benefit of using this over just your phone because you can use much better microphones than the built-in phone mic. That could be either a nice overhead microphone or a wireless microphone like the DJI mic. You can connect a microphone into the mic jack, or you can run an external mixer into the line jack. Or to keep things simple, you can connect your microphone to your camera. So now that your cameras and microphone are connected, it's time to boot this up. Press the power button on the side for a couple seconds and it will start to boot up. If this is your first Yololiv device, you'll need to create an account, but if you already have a YoloBox, then you can actually log in with the same account. Once you log in, you'll be taken to the main screen here where you can see the Instagram and TikTok apps are already installed. Right now, it ships with only Instagram and TikTok, but they are planning on adding support for more apps in the future. So I'm gonna tap on the Instagram app to open it. I can log in with my Instagram account, and it's just like using Instagram on my phone. And this is the trick that makes the Instream work. It's running the real Instagram app. Around the sides here is the user interface for the Instream software. This is showing me the two cameras I've got connected, and now I can switch between them just by tapping. Along the right side are all the settings for things like audio or creating graphics, and there's a bunch of other settings on the device as well. So to show you how this works, I'm going to first tap on the new post button and then click live. This is now showing me a preview of the camera, but the real magic is that I can now tap to change between the two different cameras. And as far as Instagram is concerned, it's the same camera. Let's actually do a quick live stream right now just to try this out. Hello, hello, hello. I am doing a quick test of the live streaming from the Instream live stream encoder. Just wanted to show how this works. I'm actually recording a video right now about the device. So this is going into the video. So say hi in the chat if you are watching this, and you may show up in the video. This is what I'm using. So this is the Instream device. I've got my two cameras, I've got all the graphics and stuff. I can turn that on up in the corner, back to the main camera. So is this only for Instagram, or is it a good YoloBox replacement? It is special device only for this. It does not run the regular YoloBox software, and it is vertical. So like you have to use it vertically. All right, yeah, thanks everybody for watching. This is fun, and I'm going to wrap this up. See you all on YouTube. So that was a fun little live demo of testing that live streaming to my actual Instagram account. And if you're following me on Instagram, you will have gotten that notification that I was live. So if you are not yet following me, you should do that. So now I want to show you some of the more advanced features. We saw how to switch between the two camera angles a minute ago, but there's a lot more you can do. You can do things like creating picture-in-picture or playing back SD card videos or adding graphics on top of the video as well. First, we're going to make a new picture-in-picture layout. So click on this Add Video Source. Then click on Picture-in-Picture Video. Choose the two sources you want to use for the picture-in-picture. I only have two plugged in, so I'll tap them both. The first one you tap will be the background. The second you tap will be the smaller one. And now you can see I've got the small main camera on top of the big one. I can also change the scale in case I wanted to shrink it down to make it even smaller. We'll go ahead and click done, and now it shows up down here as another angle you can change to. So let's go back and pull up the live so we can see what Instagram sees. And now I can change between these two cameras as well as the picture-in-picture view. To do the green screen on the Instream, first set up your green screen, make sure you light it properly. This is not super well lit, but it's good enough for the demo. Then tap on the gear of the camera you want to key out. So that's my main camera. Tap on chroma keying, and then just tap this key switch. Now you can see it's already done a really good job of removing the background green. If you want this to go on top of a background image, go ahead and choose that now. So I can again put that over my branding colors. And you can see it's doing a pretty good job of keying me out and putting me on that background image. If I wanted to key myself on top of a background video, then instead, let's go ahead and go back into the chroma key menu, get rid of the background image, and we're just gonna go ahead and click done. So now you can see it's just black in the background because it's transparent. But here's the trick. I'll go ahead and click Add Video Source, choose Picture-in-Picture, choose this for the background, this for the foreground, and now because this is transparent, you can see it's actually keying it out. I'll go ahead and make it full size, and then I can put it in front of that, for example. Click Done, and now again, you can see it shows up at the bottom as another camera angle to switch to. And again, it's doing a really good job of keying that out. Let's just go ahead and turn this off so we can continue on with the video. And I am going to put my green screen back down. In this first tab, this is where you get to create your overlays, both graphics as well as titles. You can add images and add them onto the screen whenever you want. You will first have to save those onto the SD card, and then you can load images in from the SD card. So go ahead and click the plus, then choose Image Overlays, and these are the images that are on my SD card. I've got a couple of versions of the background. I got my little live thing for the corner. I'll go ahead and click this live icon. You can see here, it'll let you scale it. So I want this to be a little bit smaller and maybe up in the corner. Click done, and now it shows up here. And when you tap it, it just puts it onto the screen. Now let's take a look at creating lower thirds. Again, click that plus, tap lower thirds, and these are the presets that you get. You get a couple different versions, and you'll be able to change things like the colors and the fonts. So here you can choose where to put it on the screen. Let's put it down at the bottom. You get 2 lines of text. You can choose the size of the top part, the size of the bottom part. You can change the colors. Let's use maybe that one. Title color, let's make it dark. Go back. Subtitle font, you get a couple of different fun options of fonts to choose from. Click done, and now it shows up again like the rest, where you can just tap it to bring it on the air. Some of the other lower thirds formats, include a rolling caption in case you want it to just scroll along the bottom all the time. And when you tap that, it'll start scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Another really cool one is a countdown timer. So you actually have the option of creating a countdown timer that you can overlay in order to have something on the screen before you start going live. You can choose how long you want to start. Let's say it's 2 minutes. You can again choose the different colors. So let's make this that teal blue, and you get to choose the fonts again and all that kind of thing. So if you want it to be overlaid on top of your video or another background image, you can choose how much you want it to darken that here. So I'll make it kind of light because we're going to put it over the background image. Click done. So now before I'm ready to go live, I can go and put the background image and then add the countdown timer. And this way, when I hit go live, Instagram is going to start telling people I'm live, but it's not going to send it out to everybody all at once. So it takes a while before people start showing up. So this way you could like start with this, people will start trickling in while you're getting ready. And when you're ready to go live, you can take these off. Another useful thing is to be able to play back recorded videos from the SD card. Of course, you're going to want to make sure you've created a vertical video file to play back, but it actually can handle regular horizontal clips too. They'll just be smaller on the screen. So again, make sure you save the clips onto the SD card and then click Add Video Source, click Local Video 1, and this is the file I've got on my SD card right now. This shows up just like another camera that you can switch to, and it'll start playing as soon as you switch to it. You can also create a picture-in-picture layout with the recorded video. So I can choose this for my main one, this for the overlay, choose where that goes, and notice that it's actually cropping it properly. So I can make it play down here. And now when I'm ready to play that video, I can go ahead and click on that, and here it is, playing back the video. There are a couple of options for SD card video playback. Let's take a look at those really quick. Go into the settings here, click SD card video switching, and you can choose whether you want it to resume first frame and pause when switching, so it'll go back to the beginning, or just continue playing wherever it happens to be, or pause when you switch away. I like resume first frame and pause, so that way when I click back into this, it should start the video over from the beginning. So if you do have a vertical video created, then you can actually switch to it and use it as like a pre-roll or an outro segment. Or if you just have a horizontal video, you can play it on top of your main video. Now I want to spend a little bit of time on the audio tab. This is the second tab here with a little speaker icon. This is where you control what audio from each source is on the stream. The main thing to keep in mind is whether you want to use the AFV or not. AFV stands for audio follows video, and it basically means that as you switch cameras, the audio will also switch to the corresponding camera. You're only going to want to use this if you have good audio sources on each of your cameras. Most of the time, I turn this off, and instead I turn on specific audio sources myself. So for example, like right now, I'm running my audio into the main camera, so I actually want HDMI 1 to be on the whole time and AFV turned off. And I'll never use HDMI 2 because that's this other camera, which I don't have a microphone plugged into it, so it wouldn't sound good. If I had a microphone plugged in directly into the audio jack, then I would use either the line or mic in. If you have a webcam, you can also bring in audio over USB, but there are some limits with that, mainly that you can't mix USB audio with other sources of audio. I often forget to turn off AFV, and actually in the live demo I just did for this video, I also forgot to turn it off, and everybody was telling me that my audio was cutting in and out. If you are bringing in audio over the line input, you can also set a delay. And this is so that you can get your audio to match the sync of your video. Most HDMI cameras are going to have a delay on the output, so you'll want to make sure you delay your audio to match it. It can be a bit tricky to dial this in, especially with the small slider. So that's actually one of the reasons I prefer to actually run my audio always through a camera. That way it's just always in sync with at least the main camera. The next tab to look at is this little one with the camera. This is the recording tab. You can actually record a local copy of your live stream, which is really useful if you're going to be live streaming on Instagram and then want to post it somewhere else later. I can actually record without even being live on Instagram. I'll go ahead and just click start recording. It'll tell you how much free space you have. Hit start recording, and now it's recording. So I can see up here in the corner, it's telling me that this number is ticking up, and this is showing me that it is in fact recording. These settings, recording limits, means it'll actually record and start a new clip every 10 minutes. And storage settings is whether you want to record to the SD card, or if you do have a USB drive attached, it can record to that as well. So this is live, and again, if I switch camera angles, it'll record the switches. Just whatever you see in the Instagram app is what it's recording. So let's go ahead and hit stop. stop the recording, and that is now saved on the SD card. The other main screen you'll find in this device is actually in this little icon in the top left corner. Go ahead and tap that, and that gets you to the main sort of Android system menu. This is where you can do things like get on Wi-Fi, or whether you want to use your Ethernet or mobile, or turn on your hotspot for tethering your SIM connection. This is also where you choose your time zone and language. And to get back to the main screen, just tap on the arrow in the left, and now you're back onto the main Instream switcher view. If you've used a YoloBox before, you'll know that they're actually really good about shipping new features in firmware updates extremely regularly. They are very quick to fix problems, and they're very quick to add new features as well. So I'm sure that will also hold true for this device as well. They've already promised they'll ship updates for new apps besides Instagram and TikTok, and I'm sure they're going to add new features as well. I don't really know what they'll add to it, but they've been surprising me and everybody else by shipping a bunch of new features to all 3 models of the existing YoloBox. And they're also very responsive to feedback. So if there's something you know you want this device to do, please leave a comment on this video or go comment on any of their social media posts. And they do read those comments and take that into consideration when they're deciding what to build next. Well, let me know down in the comments what you think of this device and whether you're interested in getting one. I'm also curious if you have any suggestions for what they could add to this in the future. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, because I go live every Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific, and we talk about live streaming, YoloBoxes, ATEM minis, and anything else you want to chat about. And keep an eye out on pk1.tv, because we are working on a stand to help this rest up on the desk so you can use it at a slightly better angle. And of course, thanks again to Yololiv for sending me this pre-production model to check out. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.